Welcome and hello. This is a support video for HEC ResSim. And in this video, I'm going to be covering the topic of configuring a map for a river system within the Watershed Explorer. All right, what I have on the screen here is a Google Earth image of a river and a specific location. Let me go ahead and bring up ResSim. Here we have ResSim version 3.3. I'm going to go ahead and create a new watershed. So make sure in the module you have watershed setup selected, and then go up to File, New Watershed. Give that watershed a name, and then select the location you want to save the project files to. Okay. Go ahead and select the units. Actually, I should probably use SI for this. And then for time zone, this is over in China, so I'm going to click International Time Zones. That doesn't really affect the exact process I'm going to be covering in this ResSim lesson, but I should probably be consistent here. I believe China is all in one time zone, so I'm going to just click Asia Shanghai here, apply, and then OK, and OK, and OK. One of my viewers wrote in a question to me asking about maximizing electrical generation at the reservoir, but the specific question dealt with configuring the map of the river system within the watershed module. I was curious, this is the Jinping 1 hydropower plant located in the Yalong River Basin in China. So curious me had to find it, and it's right here. Let me just go ahead and zoom in. So this is the hydro plant. The river happens to be flowing north at this point, northeast. I just got a push pin in it here so I know where it is. And then if you zoom out, I've also sketched in this Yalong River, which is a tributary to the Yangtze. So it flows down. It starts further up than this, but I sketched in about 300 miles or something. So it flows south and then northeast and then south again. And then I stopped sketching right here where it has a confluence with the Yangtze River that flows out east. So let's go ahead and open up ResSim and get that on the map. What I've already done is identified a shapefile for all the rivers in China that had a flow accumulation over a certain amount using some GIS tools. So if I got some GIS files saved right in here, where I have that Yalong River.shp, and then I have all the rivers.shp right here. And then I have a point shapefile of the hydro plant. So I'm going to go ahead and load in the point shapefile of the hydro plant, as well as all the rivers and just the Yalong River. And we'll go ahead and make sure that looks correct in our watershed setup module. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy all these files. If you have a question about how to generate these files, I know it's more of a GIS question rather than a ResSim question. That's totally fine. I can answer that question as well, but I'm going to focus on ResSim for this video. All right, so I'm going to go up a level, put it in my projects maps directory, which starts empty. So I'll just paste those files in there. All right, those are pasted in. Now let's go to ResSim. I'm going to go to View, Layers, and then what I have here is the two default layers. I want to click on Edit and then Allow Layer Editing, because if I don't, I can't add a map layer. You see it's kind of grayed out there. Edit, Allow Layer Editing. Now in the Maps layer, I can add a new map layer. So let's do that. Now let's navigate to that Maps directory, and it looks like I'm already there. But if you're not already there, you can just go up a level and then drill down to that location you have your shapefile saved. All right, let's go ahead and add all the rivers in China. Okay, so there's that. And I'll take a look at the image after I add a couple more layers. Now let's add just the Yalong River. Oops, that file right there. Okay, it's right in here. Now let's add the point shape file, which represents the location of that hydroelectric dam. Maps, add layers, and here it is, Jinping 1 hydropower plant. And okay. All right. Okay. So you can kind of get a general sense of the outline of China here. That was probably overkill. But let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. This right here is the section I sketched out. And then the dam location is right here on the dot. Now, the all rivers in China layer, I haven't quite got figured out because it's showing the bank lines. That's why you're seeing two lines. And then there's also a blue line, which is something I just sketched out by creating my own shapefile and saving it via QGIS and then importing it in here. Let's go ahead and make some edits to this display now. So I'm going to go up to View, Layers, and then again, I have to select Allow Layer Editing. Now we'll go ahead and select on a layer. So let's go with the power plant right here, and then I can go Edit, Properties. Now let's just go ahead and change this to a circle, and then let's make it a different color, like red, and then let's make it a different size, like 25. Apply, okay, apply. Okay, so we have a much larger dot here representing the location of our dam. Let's do the same thing with the rivers. So all the rivers in China, go edit, properties. Let's make this blue. Styles a solid line. And then let's make it a little bit thicker. Apply, okay, apply. When we zoom out, this line looks a little bit more realistic. So for instance, let's go ahead and just do that. So now we see this general shape right here of the Yalong River should match something similar to what I had in my Google Earth view. And then, yeah, if I back out, we'd have more rivers than we need, certainly. So what I'm going to do is turn this layer off and then turn on just the layer of that Yalong River that I'm looking for. View, layers, I'm going to turn off that layer. Okay. And now for Yalong River, I'm going to go up to Edit, Properties. Let's again make this blue, solid, and then, yeah, let's make it a little bit darker, and then apply and apply. Okay, great. You may actually have the line over the dot. So if that's the case, you may see something like this. Allow layer editing, edit, move up, and then apply. And then as you can see, the line is over the dot. So you can change that just by switching the order of the layers themselves. Let's see, which one do I have selected? So I'm going to go ahead and move this one down now. So move down and apply. Okay. That's pretty much it. This is where you would put your reservoir in your model, and then you could sketch out the reach that way. Something else you may want to consider doing is setting the coordinate system. If you go up to View, Layers, and then there's Map Display Coordinates. Right now, I don't have anything set. It's just the default XY. But if you click Edit, you can switch that system to whatever you want, whatever is most appropriate for your model or your whatever the shapefile is we're developed it with. The user's manual mentions everything I talked about today, but not with an actual example. It talks about adding the background maps, the different types of maps you can import, like shapefiles is what I was dealing with. This all starts at section 3.3, and this is the user's manual for ResSim 3.3, so that makes it easy to remember. Adding map layers, setting the geographic coordinate systems, and so on. If you're unfamiliar with where this PDF file is, that can all be downloaded from the ResSim website. This is the HEC ResSim website here. If you click on downloads, this is where you would download the ResSim software itself. 3.5 is the current version at the time of this recording. I'm using 3.3, which is just a couple years old, so no big deal there. And then the documentation, if you click on documentation here, I'm using the user's manual for 3.3, but I don't think anything that I've described in this video has changed a whole lot if you're using 3.5. All right, well, that was it for this support video in HEC ResSim. We created a new project, selected the watershed setup module, and then used the View Map Layers menu to import a couple shapefiles to get started sketching out our reservoir system.